Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we are going to discuss another topic about the Noble Eightfold Path, which is going to be Samma Kammantha, the right action. So, um, let's say when it comes to Samma, there is an etymology behind this. Ma means stay away or getting rid of. Sam means attached to with this raga, desha, moha, desire, aversion, and delusion. So, samma means getting away from these attachments with desire, aversion, and delusion. That's the etymology. So, kammantha means the action, what you do, the behavior. So, the wrong action means anything you do to, like, first thing, there are three types. So the sexual misconduct or killing and stealing, those are the main three things comes under this Samma Kammantha. So now let's think about why we had to do this. Okay, why we had to kill somebody. If somebody's ignorance is very high, if he has no idea about what's happening in this world, if he has no idea about the reality of this world, if he has no idea about the fact that the reasons get together and the result is appearing, and once the one or more reasons got apart, the results gonna be changing or disappearing. So if the situation is like that, so no point of going after it, because if you do, it's gonna give you suffering. So none of those reasons include your willingness. So regardless what you think, that's gonna happen anyway. So if you attach to that, disregarding that fact, your attached object, or the either sound or the smell or the touch or the scenery or the your taste or anything, that's going to be changing. So you're going to be sad. So that's the main understanding you must have in you to go along this noble path. So let's take the first thing, killing or harming somebody. Why do you have to harm people or animal or whatever it is? Because you expect something, you don't get it, you get a bit of angry, and now you speak, you do this wrong speech, and that exaggerates, and little by little it keeps on exaggerating, and finally there is a limit you can bear, and then you kill him. Okay, what causes you to kill, let's say, your wife? Why? That's because you expected to get something from her to satisfy your six senses, and you didn't get it. But if you didn't have that expectation, you don't have any problem with your wife, you don't have any problem with your daughters, you don't have any problem with your siblings, you don't have any problem with your boss or any neighbors, anybody. If you don't have if you don't have any problem, so then do you think you may think to harm somebody? No, you don't have to. If you don't have any expectation, so when you're walking along the street, so you're not gonna feel like punching somebody's face. Why? You don't have any expectation about these guys. If you feel like getting a bit of an angry with somebody, it means something might have happened even in past. You expected something, but he refused to give you, so you got a problem. So that consciousness was developing in your mind. So now when you see that guy, you feel like harming him. So if you don't have that expectation, let's say, okay, something happened last week, You wanted to get something, but he refused, and then now you are angry. But yesterday you got to listen to this Dhamma, and now you understood the reality. So what happens is straight away you just disregard that expectation. You don't have any problem with that guy, even though you see him today, because now you don't want that. So that's okay, man. You keep it. I don't want it. So that's the first thing why you tend to be harming somebody or why you tend to be killing somebody. The other thing is the stealing. Why you have to steal? Because you need something. Why? That thing is giving you those six things to satisfy your six senses. Now, because you don't have it, let's say Apple phone, the latest Apple phone. So you love it. You have seen people using that Apple phone. So you want to get it to you, but you don't have it. So if, as long as you don't have it, then you are suffering. You've been waxed. Now you got that vexation. So you want to feel that, but because you don't have money, the other option is stealing. Why? Because you need those things to satisfy your six senses. You want to touch it. You want to see it. You want to feel that music. You want to have that fresh smell. That sort of things. You have to have the good thinking about that. You have that, oh, this is mine. But now you don't have it, so you don't get those things to satisfy your six senses. Now you have to get it to you. So you have to steal it. So, but now if you understand this reality, what we have been talking about, entire these clips, there's no point. If you attach to something, it gives you three types of suffering we were talking about initially. The first thing, if you need a phone, so let's say you bought a phone. Now from that very moment you get that possession of the phone. Now you are worrying about something may happen, somebody's gonna steal that something, the screen may gonna get scratched. So anything may happen. It's not happened yet, but you are worrying. So that's why you put a screen guard. That's why you put a phone case. That's why you get an insurance. Why? It worries in your mind. Why you put your life insurance or house and content insurance, car insurance? Why? Nothing happened, but you worrying about it. So if you attach to, as long as you attach to something, it gives you that first suffering. Second, if your car got scratched, smashed, now you suffer because damage has happened. Now somebody came and now your girlfriend broke up with you. Now damage happened. Now you are unhappy. You got sadness. You are suffering. Now you have to go take your car. You have to get your car towed to your mechanic, and it costs money and it costs time. And so now all the actions, all the talking, all the thinking you are doing to rectify that car is that other sankhara dukkha, the other type of suffering. So anything you attach to, from that particular, the very moment onwards, you have that three types of suffering. Three types of suffering from one thing. So in our life, we are attached to billions of things. So you do your math. So if you don't have that attachment, do you have to steal it? Because if you're gonna steal, then you think all of these things. You have to understand this Samma Ditthi, or the ignorance on everything we talked about throughout this series of clips is everything about the wisdom, developing your wisdom. So if you have that wisdom, this is really nothing in it. So you are not going to steal anything, because why you are going to do that? What it gives you, if you really requirement, you can buy a cheap phone, because what you need is to talk to somebody, probably for your business, or to your wife, kids, to pass the message, just to communicate. So just get a small phone which does your requirement. You don't have to have the latest Apple phone, because that is because of your ignorance. You have given it a value. If you really need a phone, just buy the cheap phone which does your job. If you really need a car, you don't have to buy a BMW, or Ferrari, Lamborghini. Just buy a Toyota Camry. reliable car just to just take you from point A to point B. So you don't when you have the necessity, fulfilling that necessity is not a problem. As we talk about the Buddha, he went for alms. He used toilets, bathrooms, showers. He he used all these robes. There are some requirements. He got some medicines, but just to make sure the body is surviving. So he doesn't want to just ask for trouble. He doesn't want to cut himself. He doesn't want to starve. But because of this, that you're hungry, so you have to eat something. But here the point is, you don't have to eat pizza. If there's any bread or something which is very eatable, just eat that, because what you need is to satisfy your body. But if you need that particular pizza with that sauce in it, that is the attachment. You love that taste. So you have to go through this series of talks to think about it. So if you have that particular understanding about these external objects, you're not going to steal. Why you have to do it? You don't have to do that. Arahant's not going to thinking, I want to steal that car. Nah, he knows that if you get some, as soon as you get that position, you're going to get suffering. So this noble path is stay away from suffering. And then you don't have to kill, you don't have to steal. In sexual misconduct, it's still the same. Why you love a girl? Because you have given it a value. Does it really have an intrinsic value in it, or just something going on in your mind? So that's why for the same girl, it's not like everybody likes that same picture. All right. So why? Because they have different level of ignorances. So if you understand everything what we have been talking about, the girl is also just a outside object. So this girl is giving me the picture because of that value. So